And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you took that moment to, of course, get ready here for the upper bracket finals. It is upon us, what we've all been waiting for, a ZvT, the best ZvT we can offer here in the land of Poland, in Europe, really. Oh.
Yeah, top tier ZvT ahead of us. Really good map for it as well, Grasfan. We're going to be kicking things off with what is likely to be a banger.
Oh yeah, exactly, mate. I hope you're ready for a long one because there's potential. There's definitely a lot of potential here. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Grasvan, we have the Polish Terran player representing Storm Gaming. It is Spirit.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map, it is for Team Liquid. The Blue Zerg, it is Elazer.
I messed up the intro button, don't worry about it.
Oh, it's fine. But here we go. How greedy are we gonna be? Are we gonna play the game of no rush 20 minutes where we just macro up as hard as we can, get up to 100 drones and 100 SCVs? Or are we going to see something different?
Well, it's a CC first, so we're already on track.
Yeah.
With most other players, when you see a CC first, you have things in your mind such as 2-base all-ins, or faking a 2-base all-in to go for 3CC. With Spirit, it's almost always just going to be a standard 3CC.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we want to see, Papi. This is just peak Spirit TVZ, as economic as he can be. We'll keep an eye out for potentially something along the lines of a 2-base all-in, but for the time being, everything is looking quite normal. Likewise, Elazer also going for a hatch gas pool, not going for any kind of crazy gasless opener. I know some people, some Zerg players out there, I say some, one, I'm bringing this up just to funata him. Recently, Eva was telling me that he's been playing around with a 15-15 gasless opener in ZvT, going for a fast third base. And I'm like, mate, you're crazy. He's like, no, it's good. Larimbo taught me. And I'm like, oh.
It's finally happened. Larimbo is going to be ruining Eva's MMR.
It's already been happening all year, Papi, all year. Oh god, but Elazer, he isn't doing any of that nonsense. It goes for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a cool response. So he sees the CC first. His response is going to be to go for a very fast third, and he's going to be skipping those lings entirely as well.
Yeah, no lings whatsoever. He's going for that much faster third base on location. Pulls that completely at 100 gas, going for ling speed, and yeah, so likewise, he's cutting his own corners.
Yeah, okay, so it's a fast ling speed, but skipping lings, and a fast third. So interesting stuff coming out from Elazer, and that does mean that he might be able to put on a little bit of extra pressure later on. Meanwhile, coming out from Spirit, looks like he's going to be going for that fast third CC. So as expected, just the one Reaper for safety, and from here we'll most likely just be going into 3CC Banshee with a slightly accelerated economy.
Yeah, there we go. So again, very economic here out of Spirit, going for that starport. As you were saying, we should be seeing a tech lab here and going into said Banshee. Likewise, Elazer back at home, just happily droning on off. Where will the greed end? Where will it stop? I'm really curious. Again, it's been a while since I've been able to cast a solid ZvT out of Elazer, and especially against a player like Spirit, I imagine you can cut more corners than usual. So really, Elazer, like, he is in his comfort zone.
Yeah, Elazer plays ZvT very similar to ZvP, where you're going to be seeing him cutting every corner that he can in the early game to get as fast as he can up into a high drone count, and then from there, just non-stop aggression through the mid-game, trying to end the game there.
And we'll see if he can, because Grasvan, of course, there are a lot of defensive advantages given here because of the map. So because of that, we'll see if Spirit can kind of withstand that aggression and survive long enough to get into, a 4-5 base economy, to get even further from there. We'll see if he even wants to go that route, as he's being a little bit active here with his first handful of Hellions, looking for some tumors if possible. Oh.
Yeah, gonna be poking out, trying to get those. Does take a little bit of damage on the Hellions, but nothing too drastic. As yeah, we're just gonna be seeing that 360 Hellion Banshee opener coming out. Blocks the scout as well, so is gonna be denying any vision of the starport and its add-on. Always a nice little touch to go for as well. Zed players, especially at this level, usually not going to be throwing away that Overlord, instead trying to get their information with Link Scouts.
Exactly, and so far, I mean, we are aware of at least the 111, but we don't get into the main base. We're not entirely sure if there's a Banshee on the way or how fast the third base was taken, as it is now being landed on location. The Banshee is now hidden the field as well, so Spirit looking to ramp up the aggression a little bit more. Elazer, he hasn't skipped out on Spores. Spores are being thrown down to every single one of his mineral lines in time for the Banshees.
Yeah, there we go. The Queens as well, just going to be trying to push these units back. He hasn't gone too crazy with the creep spread just yet, but behind this, we actually see a Roach Warren going down, so interesting stuff. Not something I've seen Elazer play too often, but Cyril and Reyno have kind of set the way for this kind of playstyle. They have been using Roaches as a safe vehicle to get into late game. Usually it's going to be Roaches with 2 Infestors and then into the late game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, right, like this has been quite trendy recently, and even someone like Elazer isn't prone or isn't able to withstand that peer pressure. Everyone's doing it. Do it, Papi, do it. Yeah, he's going Roaches as well, so interesting stuff here. As you mentioned, it can be quite a safe way to play, but the Banshees are already hitting the field. They're going to try and focus on one of those Queens. Transfuses are on point so far. The Queens, one of them doesn't go down.
Yeah, Lings and Banshee's going to be paired up. This has been something that's been growing a little bit in the popularity, especially to deal with split Queens, but Elazer dealing with this quite well. Loses a lot of his Lings, but I think he only loses the 1 Queen in the end, so that's quite a lot of Spirit's Hellions going down without too much damage behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Only 2 drones got picked up, so the economy here of Elazer is looking strong. We have some Drop Lords and Overlord speed on the way. Elazer, he is not replacing the drones he just lost.
Yeah, okay, so this is very interesting. This is something that we see a lot against mech, but I don't really see it versus bio that often. This probably is something that's specific to the CC first opener. Elazer is going to be going for a Queen drop into a 1-1 Roach all-in. I'm a little surprised to not see Roach speed. I don't know if you forgot it.
Yeah, no Roach speed. There we go. Roach speed just now begins. I think that's an oversight, as you mentioned. We had the money for it earlier, and we didn't go for it, so it's going to be slowed down a little. Yeah, it's slowed down a little bit, but we are committing to this push. What do we have at home to defend? The medevac does confirm this.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake. Elazer realizes that he forgot it, and then realizes as well that there's not really much point getting it now anyway. He needs to dump all of his gas into Ravages. He's going to be committing to this attack. We do have a bunker already in place. Stimming, jumping on top of the Overlords, trying to take them out, trying to take out the Queens before the creep can be dumped. That is a very smart move from Spirit. That was fantastic.
Yeah, the Queens go down, the Overlords as well. Spirit has defended beautifully here, completely shutting down this push, and now Elazer's in a bit of a rough spot. He is droning heavily behind this, trying to catch back up.
That was so clever from Spirit, just realizing that there is a tiny moment there before the creep starts dropping out of the Overlords where those Queens can be taken out before they can transfuse each other. So he just shuts his push down, picks up every Marine, and just goes straight across the map.
Yeah, exactly. The Banshees are just punishing these Roaches as they try to retreat across the map. We have the double jump headed towards the main base right now. The army is distracted right now. The Banshees trying to keep their attention here towards the south instead. Do we have anything to protect these hatcheries or even the main base? As Spirit, he just goes straight to the main.
Yeah, straight into the main he goes. This bio is a little bit overstimmed already, so he's going to be coming out in yellow and orange health, so he has to be a bit careful with it.
Does have to be careful, but he sims on 4. The middle line is exposed. We do see him trying to take down or take control of the main base, but the Roach reinforcements do make it here in time.
Yeah, if you can take out the infestation pit, that'd be a great pickoff, but instead he's going to stand and fight, and I'm not so sure about this. Yeah, looks like he's not going to let too many of those Marines die before he leaves, but 4th is denied.
5th is going to be cancelled. We do have the drop heading towards the natural base, but he did lose quite a lot of his bio army already. Did take a lot of the wind out of the sails of this push, but this space is looking a little bit more vulnerable. We have potential for damage. Spirit, he doesn't go for it though. Elazer, he is keeping up.
Yeah, but Spirit is continuing to pour on the pressure behind this. He does have his fourth landed, morphing into a PF. He has 2-2 on the way as well, well ahead of that of the Zerg. He is ahead in so many different ways, and he is just continuing to apply pressure to force out extra roaches as well. But meanwhile, Elazer going to be dropping that Hydrogen, dropping the Hive as well. If he can keep enough pressure on Spirit, he might be able to get to Lurkers behind this and stabilize, but I don't know if Spirit's going to allow him to.
That's the thing, right? Spirit, he knows how ahead he is. He is looking to apply that pressure and not allow Elazer to take on out of here. As you were mentioning, I'm pretty sure Lurkers are what he wants to go for. Lurkers are on the horizon here for Elazer. Can he survive long enough? We do have a couple of safety infestors on the way. Pathogen glands is not researched though, so these infestors, it's going to take a while for them to have a fungal.
Yeah, that's right. This feels like a little bit of a desperation comeback move here. He knows that the army or the Spirit is going to be mostly Marines here, but there we go. The Spirit going to be jumping on top of these roaches here, and this is not a good fight for Elazer. The roaches coming from the back a little bit delayed. They will be able to take down the tanks, but I think we have lost a few too many roaches here.
Yeah, GG gets called, and Spirits will take game number 1 after a failed Queen Roach all-in from Elazer. Something very out of left field, very out of the norm. Had potential, but Spirit, he shut it down so well.
Yeah, he really did, and it feels like Elazer just had a few small mistakes where he was going for that. I like the idea in general just because CC first might have a bit of a window here where you have less tanks, but at the same time, 1-1 didn't line up, the roach speed wasn't there, it just wasn't quite coming together.
Yeah, I was going to point that out as well. It was really weird, right? Like, the push was starting, and 1-1 was, like, a couple seconds in. Like, it wasn't even halfway done. Like, it was not lined up at all. Unfortunate to forget about roach speed as well. So, a very haphazard attack from Elazer. I wonder if that even would have worked if he had lined up his upgrades correctly, and if he did hit with them, would that have made the biggest of differences? I do think that it would have maybe impacted it a bit, but I don't know, just Spirit had such a good handle on it. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think to some extent, Spirit was only able to jump on those queens so aggressively because there wasn't roach speed.
True.
I don't think that would have worked out as well if there was roach speed and Elazer was able to jump on the tanks and push back the bio like that. But yeah, as it stands, kind of felt to me like the classic Spirit game where Spirit goes super greedy, the other player tries to punish it, and Spirit makes the punish look silly. That's kind of his MO in this matchup.
Yeah. We make a lot of parallels with Spirit, with Max Pax, right? Where Max Pax in PvP, he's kind of baiting you into all-inning him or baiting you into being aggressive, and he's just so damn good at defending, and we kind of apply a lot of that to Spirit as well. It's really interesting to see, right? It's really cool to see how they're just that confident and how dominant they are in a certain play style, and yeah, we got to see that here.
Yeah, definitely. And coming into this next match, map as well, I really want to see Elazer stick to his guns and stick to, what got him to the dance, what he's best at, and that is high drone count, just Ling Bane Hydra all the way. And I think that would have been a lot more effective in that last match.
Definitely. I can understand why he would want to go for an all-in and end the game a little bit earlier on Gressman, but oh my god, what were the vetoes? To be fair, it is a best of 5, so we have very limited vetoes available. Yep. The next game is on altitude.
Spirit's pretty much the only Terran that I know that likes altitude.
Yeah.
I think generally, I think in a best of 7 you're meant to veto Cistern. I think that Cistern's probably worse in altitude just because at least altitude mech's not that bad, whereas on Cistern mech's not that great and bio's not that great. So I think that's why we play altitude, but I don't know.
I was about to I was about to echo the same thing, where I do think that Ancient Cistern is more of a Zerg-friendly map than altitude, or I should say, the playstyles that you have available to you as Terran is a little bit better on altitude as well. And we have seen Spirit dabble in mech before. He's no stranger to it, so you may be reading into something. That may be what Spirit has in mind on altitude.
Yeah, as much as you might hate it as Zerg players, this patch bringing back Battle Mech has breathed a bit of life into TVZ in general. It's just kind of opened up a lot of different strategies for Terran to go for here. But Yeah, Zergs have been suffering a little bit as a result, of course.
Well, there's just been a lot of like versatility with it as well. You know, it isn't just the map pool, but also with some of the balance updates as well. You know, the new form of battle mech, which I don't know if we've come up with a name for it yet, but with the added variation of like higher banshee counts and banshee play as well to be a little bit more active. And that has been fun to watch. It has been really cool to see Terran players explore their kit a little bit more with that. Is Spirit one to go for that? I'm curious. I'm curious if he does go for mech, what kind of mech he's willing to bring to the table.
Yeah, I do think to some extent we did see it a lot at the start of the patch, but it has been figured out a little bit more since. I think one of the main things is that people were at first underestimating just how good the Hydra buffs are, and Hydra Viper does tend to be a pretty good style when you're dealing with the Mass Banshee Cyclone. I do think it's still pretty good to mix in, though.
Yeah, exactly. Just to keep the Zerg player on their toes. So we'll see. We'll see what we have to offer here on Altitude, the largest map in the map pool. As a reminder as well, this is our first best of 5, the first of two best of 5s here tonight. So we have a longer series. We're gonna be able to squeeze some more out of these two players. So squeeze it all.
Yeah, I want to see Elazer 5 back a bit. I definitely want to see this best of 5 go all 5 games, yeah.
Oh yeah, that is what we want. That is what we are here for. And hopefully that is what we get as well. Looks like players are just getting or asking for a little bit of a break. They're just getting ready here before the next game. Especially after what happened in game 1. I wouldn't be surprised if Elazer just needs a moment to just shake it off, you know, to just really get in the zone as well. Because there were a couple of missteps or definitely a couple of mistakes from Elazer in that first game. So wants to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, he needs to walk out the back and he's going to call up Raynor and he'd be like, Raynor, you told me this queen drop was good. It's garbage. What are you doing? Why did you lie to me? You're sabotaging the best moment of my life to become the #1 Polish player here at this tournament. Why do you hate me?
He's like, call me back later, Papi. I'm playing League of Legends.
Yes, I'm never asking you questions again. I'm getting all my builds from Lorimbo from now on.
Oh no. No, Elazer, don't do it. Don't go to the dark side. Not like
you, Raynor. You are now #2 Italian Zerg in my heart.
Oh god. Lorimbo, he has to be stopped, Papi. He needs to be stopped. He's an animal. He's an animal.
He can't be stopped.
Oh my god. I'm shaking my head. I don't know if you saw the other day, a couple of days ago, we casted Sparkling Tuna Cup. Ebo was playing random. He was playing random in Sparkling Tuna Cup. Shaking.
Animal. Absolute animal.
And he wasn't telling his opponents what he was rolling either. Just embracing the random.
It's fine in tournament.
Oh god. I was scarred for life. I got to bear witness to Eba's Terran. It was something.
Yeah, Terran's too hard for Eba.
Protoss is too hard for Eba. What are you talking about? It's shaking my head. As we are getting into our next game, looks like our Zerg player has taken the edge off, you know, maybe gone over to the bar, gotten a stern drink, and now he's back. Now we're ready to go, ready to get into game number 2.
Yeah, that's right. And Ragona, we are on altitude here, and it's spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map. It is Psystorm's Spirit.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of altitude, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid down in the series, but it's the best of 5. Plenty more games to come. It is Elazer.
I feel like Discord with their soundboards, they've really caught on to something that is like at the core of human nature, which is that annoying other people is really fun. I find it so annoying when other people use Discord soundboards, but I'd never feel bad about spamming things on the Discord soundboard. Like never. It's fun every time.
I was about to say, what kind of sound bites do you have on the mates server? What's been going on? What's been happening?
There's some good mates ones, but I've got some Lorimbo soundboard.
Oh god.
Hang on. Actually, I can just play them, and it's just gonna blast everyone.
What does he have? What's he saying? Not like.
I'm fucking erect right now. This is oh my god.
That was my favorite. This is what StarCraft's all about.
God damn it, Lorimo. God damn it. Well, speaking of being erect, Spirit, mate, he's not going for a 2-Rax. It's not the Beyond opener. Well, it is the Beyond opener, but he's going for a 3rd Rax behind this. He's going Mass Reaper.
Man, this is as beyond as it gets, and it shows that Spirit, he is not afraid to mix things up at all. He's going for a 3-Rax Reaper. This is absolutely the last thing that I would have guessed out of Spirit, and I have to think that maybe Elazer won't be expecting it too. I mean, we have to say now as well, this is proof. The proof is in the pudding now that this 2-Rax Reaper on the low ground is here to stay if even Spirit's doing it.
Oh, yeah. If even Spirit's doing it, then everyone's doing it, mate. The first Reaper has arrived so far, wreaking a little bit of havoc here in the natural base, but little does Elazer know as he gets a 3rd base up and running, we have additional Reapers coming out of Elazer. He didn't check the natural ramp with his Overlord. Why would you against Spirit? What are the chances that he goes for a 2-Rax like this? It's the first I'm seeing from him, at least.
Yeah, that's right. But one of the Reapers goes down. That is really not good here. This Reaper, the 3-Rax Reaper completely relies here on sort of spiraling out of control, on snowballing. But he's also doing a good job. He sent his next Reaper out away from the Overlord path to try to hide that he's going for a 3-Rax Reaper, and I don't think that Elazer has caught onto it yet.
Yeah, exactly. This could still be a 2-Rax in his mind, as now a 4th Reaper and a 5th Reaper are showing up. So Elazer's not fully aware of what's going on. Link speed is about to kick in. Before that happens, can we pick off a Queen? The Queens are getting quite low. Up!
Yeah, the Queens are getting low. We do have one of those Queens getting picked off. We're not going to be losing another Reaper. Nice micro coming out from Spirit here. We'll be saving that. Link speed finishes up, and one of the more of those Reapers go down. So now we have 4 Reapers instead of 6. Definitely going to be a little bit of a problem. As I was saying, it's so important not to lose your first Reapers here. But behind this, we are actually seeing a transition come out from Spirit.
Yeah, here we go. We have our natural base on the way. We have a factory on the way and the additional add-ons as well. Spirit has to be very careful not to lose these Reapers. If he does, he has nothing at home to defend, as Elazer is getting ready for a counterattack. He's actually making even more links behind this. Oh my god.
Yeah, Elazer getting really aggressive. This could be for some kind of Lingbane bust, or maybe just trying to put on a little bit of extra pressure. Maybe just assuming that there are more Reapers being made. I mean, at this point, we could be up to almost 16 Reapers, so I think it's fair to be over-making Lings just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, but is this hurting him a little bit too much, right? Elazer, he's now starting droning. There is no Baneling Nest, so counterattack potential isn't really there for Elazer. He won't be able to bust down that wall as the Reapers, they do dip back in. They do get another Queen. Up.
Yeah, another Queen going to be going down, but these Reapers, they might be paying for it. The Ling's trying to get this around, and they will. The Reapers are finding any little nook and cranny that they can, and they are going to be trading out extremely well. That's some beautiful grenades from Spirit, but in the end, the Reapers go down.
The grenades, the jukes are on point, but as you were saying, the Reapers do get cleaned up. Elazer now has map control. He is now free to drone, but that was quite an interesting amount of damage. 2 Queens went down, some Lings, a lot of delayed droning. That's probably the biggest thing there for Elazer. Behind this, 3rd TC is about to finish up as well. Spirit working on his buyer transition.
Yeah, nice greedy transition coming out from Spirit. Classic Spirit is going to be going for that very fast 3rd CC. And yeah, this is actually a really impressive transition out of a 3-Rax Reaper. Not usual, pretty unusual that you would see it do as little as it did in the end and still be in not a bad position overall. But Elazer, he recognizes where things are at. He takes a fast 4th, and he will be looking to just drone really hard once he has enough Lings to deal with any pressure.
Oh, exactly, as he's making another big wave of Lings, to be fair. So again, it looks like he's not entirely certain as to what is going on, but here we go. We have the double drop moving out. It is going to be spotted by the Overlord. Elazer fully aware that he has to be in position to keep up with the drop play of Spirit, and now he's free to drone as he does get eyes on the 3rd CC.
Yeah, there we go. So he should have enough Lings to defend the drop at home and stop this 3rd from coming up.
Exactly, yeah, plenty of Lings on the map. The Queens are on the front lines as well. The double drop should be deflected. We do have some transfuse energy. No, never mind, we're running out of energy.
Yeah, the Queens didn't really put any damage on the medevacs here, so this drop is actually getting a little bit more done than it necessarily should, but we are going to be seeing a good amount of those Marines go down. It looks like we'll be getting pushed back here, so maybe Elazer slightly underestimating just how much more dangerous this double drop is with combat shields.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he just lost 3 queens in the blink of an eye. That was crazy. A good amount of damage from Spirit is going to slow down some of that creep spread as well. The drop is still being very active behind this. Third base is getting up and running as we almost set up us around.
Spirit actually hitting a very hard supply block here, and he hasn't started up more depots yet.
Yeah, no more depots are on the horizon, so Spirit hopefully can recognize that, or he may be forced to call down some supply as well, just to break out of it. There's still no SCV, sorry, still no depot.
Yeah, he already called down supply. I don't know if he thought he started a depot with a trapped SCV or something like that, but this is a really bad supply block. But despite that, we are going to be having some pressure being put on Elazer with no Banelings here so far. Was trying to cut some corners, and it should be okay for him.
I mean, he's got 3 Banelings. He hasn't started Baneling speed. Bear that in mind. We do have a lair, and actually we're prioritizing Hydra production instead. Oh my god, quite a greedy move out of Elazer.
Yeah, Elazer once again missing a vital upgrade. I have to wonder if he's, a little bit nervous. He is a very experienced tournament player, so I didn't really want to bring it up because it seems so unlikely, but I don't know. That's twice now that he's missed a vital upgrade.
I mean, he should recognize it, and he actually, as even we recognize that he started Hydra speed instead of Baneling speed, so I have to wonder if this is intentional or not. Meanwhile, a couple of tanks are going to be going down despite the lack of the upgrade. Elazer does hold on.
Yeah, Elazer is going to be pushing him back. There we go. We do see Bane speed finally started up here.
Yeah, finally it is on the way, but there's going to be a big portion of this game without it, and without it, I don't know how aggressive Elazer can really be, especially off of creep. He doesn't care though, he's pushing out across the map. He did reset the tank count, but there's now 1 tank here on the high ground. We have reinforcements coming in, the bunker is on the way.
Spirit supply blocked again. I have to wonder how far ahead he would be at this point if he didn't hit these supply blocks, because they have been really big supply blocks.
Yeah, I wonder what the setups are looking like. I mean, they bring their own peripherals, to be fair, but this is, of course, a foreign setting for them. They're here in an offline event at a bar. Maybe they have had a couple of drinks. I don't know. It is a bar, by the way. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But yeah, hopefully Spirit is able to tighten things up here because we can't really afford any more of these mistakes, as Elazer is now catching up in those upgrades.
Yeah, we also see a third factory going down. The fact that they're in different locations makes me think that Spirit might have forgotten that he started one and then started another one. We'll have to see if he reacts to that as well.
Yeah, as we do have both factories just now finishing on up. Behind this, we have Burrow on the way. We're working on range upgrades as well for those Hydras as the army moves out. Ooh, Elazer thinking about diving on in, but the sensor tower does finish up in time. Spirit does pull back.
Yeah, there we go. We do see, okay, another tech lab. So it would be wild, but it is possible that this is on purpose and he's going to go into 3 factory tank, which is something that I haven't seen in a very long time, but it would mean a very totally game.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit did lose a lot of momentum in that push earlier after he did lose all of his tanks, and there we go, triple tank production coming out from Spirit, looking to slow the game down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to give him credit here. Maybe he is just going for a bit more of an old school style, resurrecting the 3-fact tank. And with this as well, he should be very safe from any kind of lurker transition that might come his way.
Yeah, lurkers, they don't do too well against a mass amount of tanks. We do see Elazer just engulfing his side of the map, though. The creep not looking too bad for the most part, halfway across, even a little bit further. He's on his 5 bases. He's on 85 workers. And now we're working on that hive. We're working on the infestation pit.
Yeah, that's right. I have an infestation pit on the way. I do think if he does recognize just how immense this tank count is, we might have to see him transitioning into Broodlords to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly. Broodlords would be ideal, unless Elazer is somehow able to pull off some kind of, like, I don't know, Nidus play or drop play, but we can see the sensor towers are covering every inch of Spirit's side of the map. It's going to be difficult to try to pull something like that off.
Yeah, that's right. So everyone buckle in. we are, if Spirit gets his way, going to be seeing a very long game. But looks like Elazer, he doesn't want any of it. He is once again going to be rolling in with a huge amount of banelings here, denying this third from being taken. We haven't seen any SCVs going down just yet. Spirit has to stand his ground now.
Oh my god, the Banelings, they get annihilated. 2-3 tanks go down, but the Marine positioning was insane as Spirit does trade quite well, does force back the ground army of Elazer.
Yeah, 2 SCVs are going down in total, so Spirit taking a nasty trade there and bringing that units lost way back into his favor after a few little mistakes in the mid-game, losing double drops and such.
Yeah, but you know what? These tanks are exposed. 2 of them are going to be going down on the left-hand side. Spirit unable to keep up with this rotation.
Yeah, 3 tanks are going to be going down, but Spirit's going to be able to push back the rest of this, and I don't think there's enough left for Elazer to be pressing the issue.
I don't think so either. We do have a couple borrowed Baileys coming to play. They do get caught out here by Spirit. He will shut them down. We can see he may have lost a lot of tanks, but mate, we got 3 factories. You know, we have additional tanks on the way. Spirit even expanding amidst all this chaos. He is trying to hunker back down once again.
Yeah, tanks being pumped out 3 at a time. We do see a couple Vikings made as well, just preempting Vipers coming out from Elazer. So he recognizes, of course, with such a high tank count, Vipers are going to be pretty dangerous. So that's the reason for those couple Vikings.
Yeah, exactly. Vipers are a good way to break these entrenched positions to shut down a lot of these tank lines as well. So very wise of Spirit to preempt that as he is attempting to expand. This is going to be a really awkward base to be taking as well. He has to try to have control of the low ground here as well, and that is where Elazer is kind of shocking around, looking for his opponent pushing through.
Yeah, and here we go. Elazer going to be jumping on top, jumping into the Hornet's Nest. Every single tank here is going to be taken down. Almost every tank. One does survive, but once again, this is not an efficient trade for Elazer. I do have to worry, despite being on a fantastic economy of 90 drones, how many times can he keep getting away with trades this bad?
Yeah, he got 3 tanks, I think, maybe a 4th tank towards the end, but that was a lot of Ling Bane, and the Bio Army is getting stronger and stronger. Once 3-3 kicks in, if Elazer takes a poor fight, then Spirit can then counterattack. He can try to push out as well and try to punish some of these bases of Elazer, so he's got to be careful with these fights.
Yeah, I mean, in the last couple minutes, the units lost for Elazer has doubled. We can see now Spirit trading almost already better than 2-1, and that's 2-1's generally going to be okay, but any worse than that, and you're in a bit of trouble there as a Zerg.
Yeah, he's lost 300 lings this game. Over 300 lings have gone down here in this game, but here we go. Once again, Elazer diving on forward. He's going to catch a couple more of these tanks. The Vipers are here with the EMPs.
Yeah, beautiful EMPs. These Vipers, they are not going to be able to throw down a single blinding cloud. We have those 3 tanks stacked up in that natural as well, and Elazer once again going to be deflected. It feels like every single time he comes in, the trades are just getting worse and worse, and I don't think this Hydra Ling Bane pressure that he loves so much is going to work out. I think he does need to diversify his attacks.
Yeah, like when it comes to this style of play from Elazer, you have to snowball and at least take down bases. It's not good enough trading with the tanks. We need to stifle the economy of Spirit. If he doesn't, then Spirit can just trade like this for days that eventually out-trade his opponents. Elazer just hasn't been getting good enough damage here with these fights.
Yeah, most importantly as well, it's okay to be trading this badly as the Zerg if you're denying a 5th, but the 5th is up. The extra CCs are coming up as well. We see 4 CCs in their production tab. Spirit is absolutely gearing himself up for that late game. He wants that Iron Bank of orbitals so that he can eventually throw away his SCVs, replace them with mules. Broken Imba. I know.
Yeah, you don't need SCVs. It's true. It's very true. But here we go. We have a massive Doom Drop being set up. Elazer doesn't see this, but there are Marines in position, so we'll see if Elazer can avoid them. We'll see if he can somehow slip into the main base. There are no turrets here, by the way, so the main is looking a little bit exposed.
Yeah, and there's nothing on the right side as well for Spirit to see this. Elazer's made sure of that with those borrowed lings there, so he knows that this is open and this is going to work. I mean, they say that you can't fit a square, round peg, square hole, round peg.
What?
What's the phrase? You can't put a... I'm going to say you can't put a triangle peg into a square hole.
There you go. There you go. You can't. Can you?
No, the other way. Square peg, triangle hole. There we go.
There you go. As we have a massive link drop into the main base, the production is on fire. Elazer did just lose 2 hatcheries, but he's taking control of the production. Oh my god, we have factories going down. So we have Rax is going down as well.
Yeah, Starport dies because you know, Adrenal is broken. And we do have finally one of Elaser's attacks having quite a bit of success. I love the borrowed lings in the corners as well. And this is going to open up the attack on the 5th. Beautiful stuff from Elazer. He is finally finding an opening.
There we go. 5th base is going to be going down. The planetary will fall. Spirit is being pulled apart. He does have a drop across map. He's finding a lot of drones. They're just rolling into their death. Oh, God.
Yeah, the counter damage is there for Spirit. He's going to have to push it, but we do have some Banelings falling back in line to defend this. There's enough CCs as well that Spirit is going to be able to replace that 5th base, but we see this CC going on a little bit of a voyage. It won't make it across, but he's going to see some things before he goes.
He sees a lot of things. He wanted to be one with the Zerg, Papi, but he goes down in the center of the map. Ay, ay, ay. But as we did mention earlier, these trades haven't been worth it for Elazer if he isn't able to deny the 5th, but he gets the 5th base. He gets more than the 5th. He gets some of the production as well. Spirit is hurting, and Elazer, he remaxes. He's going in again.
Yeah, Elazer is a relentless. He just attacks, and Spirit, despite being so well equipped, isn't quite ready for the diversity of Elazer's attacks, and some very clever stuff. I love the use of Burrow as well. I think we still have quite a few borrowed lings in the main, so once there is enough chaos, those can unburrow and start to cause a bit more trouble for Spirit.
Yeah, the Ghost Academy is on fire. We have lings ready to pounce on them. There we go as well. Ghost Academy does go down to those borrowed lings and is going to have to be rebuilt here. We do have the dropper lords as well waiting in the main base. Elazer rotating around towards the left-hand side, getting ready to pounce upon that 5th base for a second time. Can Spirit reposition? Can he stabilize? He has remaxed, but he needs to get everything back up and running.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at everything, taking stock, I think Spirit is still ahead just because he has 5 bases mining. He has a lot of extra orbitals. He still has a decent army, slightly ahead on supply. There's not really any bank for the Zerg. So Elazer in response, he's starting up 7 infestors. He already has pathogen glands as well. He recognizes that he doesn't really have the momentum anymore. Spirit's gotten what he wanted, and he has locked things down despite Elazer finding some slightly better trades along the way. And I think an infestor broodlord transition is just inevitable.
Yeah, hopefully we can get there. When it comes to the position right now, I do think that a lot of Spirit stabilizing right now is because of the drop across the map. Like, he killed 2 hatcheries and he killed a lot of drones. And so Elazer had to spend a lot of time just re-droning, restabilizing his own economy as well. And Spirit is even looking to take a 6th base, the center gold base at that. Greater Spire is now on the way, but this transition, it feels like Elazer, this isn't something that he wanted. This isn't something that he wanted to go for. This is very late for Elazer.
Yeah, this is kind of Spirit getting what he wanted. Like, Spirit wanted to delay, wanted to survive to a late game. Elazer wanted to stop a 5th from getting up, to just overwhelm, to just break down the economy of Spirit over and over again to the point where he can't rebuild and he can't withstand these attacks. But Spirit, I think that he's gotten to where he wants to be now.
Exactly, and Elazer is forced into his position. Before that happens, though, we do see the 5th base once again under threat. No tanks in position. The planetary goes down.
Planetary goes down. These extra CC is going to be going down as well, but Spirit, he has already started to establish the gold base, so he can survive this. He has enough orbitals as well, enough extra CCs, but meanwhile, we see some really good trades coming out from Elazer. He is starting to make some progress.
Yeah, exactly. He's able to catch a lot of those Marines. He wasn't lucky, Poppy. Even gets a tank, gets a CC as well. And he's getting on top of these factories. He even has a couple of infestors borrowed within the army here, within the center bases of Spirit, looking for any kind of neural or any kind of fungal.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's going to be very valuable. I'm not really sure what the plan is with that infestor going up into the main. I suppose if he does eventually get a Nidus in the main and the ghosts run over to clean up the Nidus, he could neural one of the ghosts. That would be an insane player.
Yeah, it definitely could happen. I do also think he probably just wants to split up his infestors as well, just in case there's like a scan or just in case one of them gets spotted, just to keep them safe and sound. Meanwhile, we do see Elazer getting ready here in the center of the map, still not making any corruptors or broodlords, still sticking with Lingbane Hydra, but he does have a lot of infestors.
Yeah, this is really interesting. We don't, as we do see a really good scan, Spirit's going to be spotting out at least one of the infestors. So, yeah, behind this we just see extra CCs. We see turrets coming down. This gold base is huge for Spirit. This is not something that you really want to allow as a laser, and it's going to be a massive mineral boost here for Spirit. But meanwhile, Elazer, he's building up his bank. He's getting some extra bases that he needs, and I think we're going to be seeing a pretty even late game.
Yeah, we should, but once again, before that happens, Spirit is being active with his drops. He's looking to take down this hatchery if possible. Blings, they're trickling on in. They're not trading well at all.
Yeah, not at all. That 3-3 bio is so powerful. We are going to be turning back once we see the Hydras as well, so Spirit gets out of there with most of his units. And another counterattack to the left. I love how active Spirit is being with these units, just trying to trade out this bio as best as he can. He takes out 3 hatches in total. What is Elazer going to be able to do on the counter?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe take down a CC. He does have the Infestor. Bear that in mind. So if the entire army does react to this, he is set up for a massive bungle. But we can see him actually pushing on forward even further here. He wants to try to lay siege. He does land with the bungle. He goes for the neural.
Yeah, nice neural on that tank. He's going to be taking out one of the tanks. I feel like maybe the Ghost could have been a little bit more valuable, but we do see the tanks just dominating from up on this high ground, and I'm not sure if this was enough damage for Elazer. Elazer denies a base that was pretty much mined out already, and he is going to be punished badly for his attack.
Yeah, massive EMPs, massive surround is being set up as well. Elazer going to be losing almost his entire army. A couple of the infestors do manage to waddle away, but Elazer, he lost so many hatcheries earlier, and he hasn't replaced them. He hasn't rebuilt them. He's going for another last-ditch effort, going for another link counterattack. He only gets a handful of SCVs.
Yeah, the link counterattack is not bad. We do have those extra borrowed links as well, so they can jump back in later. Of course, we don't have a PF over here at this base, and I'm not sure if Spirit's aware of those borrowed links, so that's going to be a really good thing that he can go for later. But wow, Spirit, he is trying to take Elazer's bases here, and this is not what you want as a Zerg. You want to be taking the Terran's bases, taking as many minerals as you can before your bases get denied, as he's trying to do on the right-hand side here. But a Terran taking your bases is a recipe for disaster.
It really is. Again, ideally as a Zerg player, you want to deny bases, you want to have the better economy, you want to be able to have the luxury of just trading time and time again, having a more kind of an army willing to trade, but alas, that's not quite happening. Elazer is double expanding on the right-hand side at least. We'll see if he can actually hold on to those bases though, as another link run by is getting a bit done.
Yeah, it's going to be a little an interesting little problem for Spirit to work out how to lock down this right-hand side here. I don't think he's really interested in taking that base anymore at the triangle, but he is going to have to work out a way just to keep himself safe and keep his main production safe, most importantly.
Yeah, exactly. There's only one turret here. We have a couple of those drop lords left over as well, so there's potential for another massive dune drop into the main base. Spirit, he needs to bear that in mind as he is hyper-focused, hyper-fixated on taking control of the top left. The game is settling down, and here we go. Finally, Broodlords are hitting the field.
Yeah, this left side absolutely belongs to Spirit here, but he does have to shore up the right side. We are seeing 5 more CCs going down, so he is really making sure he's spending that bank. And behind this, going up into ship weapons as well, so it looks like he is thinking about maybe a Liberator transition.
Yeah, we have a fusion core on the way for Liberator range. We could even, I don't know, even see additional starports for a weird BC transition as well. But until then, we do see Elazer just getting ready for the Broodlords, for the Infestors. The Broodlords do reveal themselves, and we're diving on the army.
Yeah, Broodlords have been spotted here. This right-hand side looks very well locked down here. We have a defensive nuke as well that's going to make sure that those Broodlords don't get too carried away. And all the Broodlords are exposed. The snipe's going to be coming down. It's not quite enough, but we do have to back off here.
Oh my god. Spirit trying to bait the army to chase the bio, but alas, Elazer, he's wise to it. He does back off. At the same time, massive marine counterattack here, catching a mineral line, catching a base as well. And this is the downside of this map. It's so large that run-bys and counterattacks from both sides do so well.
Yeah, great move by Spirit. He doesn't want these marines anymore, so he's going to be looking for effective ways to trade them out.
Yeah, exactly. Does get a base. The base on the right-hand side still up and running here from Elazer. We'll see if he can keep it up as he does rotate his own army around. The creep, a little bit lackluster as well, as we actually don't really have too much here to work with for Elazer.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Elazer's running on fumes here. He is slowly starting to build up that Broodlord count, but the very scary question for Elazer starts to become, how can he keep on enough pressure while building this Broodlord count? Because he's not quite at the late game army that he wants. He's still in transition, and he definitely can't be taking a fight, I don't think, with the amount of Broodlord Infestor that he has. But at the same time, he doesn't quite have the bank to just throw away everything that he has that isn't Broodlord Infestor.
Oh, God, exactly. And, you know, he needs moments like this. A good EMPs on the Infestors, but a couple of Ghosts do go down at the same time. That exposes some of these bases. We do see Spirit trying to punish his opponent. Base on the right-hand side is being taken out. We do see a nuke here on this Mineral Lion.
Yeah, nice stuff. Nuke does come down, but it looks like there is an Overseer there, so that Ghost will be taken down. And yeah, it's getting very interesting between these two players. It looks like the name of the game for Spirit is going to be getting up Mass Viking Liberator instead of Thor's, which is very unusual, building up the kind of army that can deal with this Broodlord. And at the same time, Elazer is going to try to swallow up the right-hand side of the map.
I mean, how many Corruptors do we have? We have 2 Corruptors right now, but the Fungals do connect with the Vikings on the Marines as well. So Spirit is going to have to respect that. Is going to have to back off. Up.
Yeah, this is why you don't normally see Mass Viking, just because Fungal's so effective, but he gets the EMPs on every Infestor, so now these Broodlords are exposed, and they're going to be able to churn through these units.
Yeah, here we go. We're pushing on through. No Fungals are available. The Bio Army is heavily overstimmed, and it looks like Spirit will not be able to gain any ground. He is forced back.
Yeah, decent trade in the end, but Spirit is running a little bit low on resources, so he's going to have to be careful not to throw away everything all at once like that, as his income actually not looking too hot right now.
Yeah, he's kind of running out of money here. He doesn't have too many mineral patches left. He has the left-hand base, but that is the only full mining base right now. It's so important that Elazer is denying the right-hand side.
Spirit's actually stuck here. He needs to either take the right-hand side or kill this left-hand side base of Elazer, but actually no, there's no minerals here. So yeah. Spirit's only option is to take this right-hand side base that neither of them have taken, but I'm not really sure how he does that without exposing the left.
Well, I mean, he's exposing the left. He's sending a lot of his army over towards the right-hand side. The tanks are repositioning. It looks like he's going to be leaving his Ghosts and a handful of Liberators here to defend, but everything else is rotating over towards the right-hand side instead. It looks like he has recognized that this base is going to be a crucial one here to take.
Yeah, he has to take this base. Luckily for him, these Broodlords, they're slow enough that they're not going to be able to come over to the right-hand side and help out. But I like this. Going to be sieging up one of the last mining bases here is Elazer.
Oh, the tanks are caught on siege. The Lingbane gets on top of everything. The tanks are going down, and this endeavor from Spirit is not working out for him.
Yeah, very poor trade, and that might just be the game-losing moment there, as he just doesn't have the economy to build back up his army. If Elazer can keep reinforcing that right-hand side and stop that base from ever coming up, I don't think Spirit is going to be able to win this game.
The base!
He doesn't see it. He didn't see it.
No one saw anything as the Bailings, they do not detonate. Spirit does push on forward here. He's desperately trying to get this base up and running. He still can. He had a really bad trade earlier, don't get me wrong, but he has a moment here as Elazer is going to try to dive in with just pure Ling.
Yeah, Elazer going to be jumping on top of this army. Looks like he might be even trying to set up a little bit of a bait here. Oh, the bait could work here. Can the Lings drag the army back over the Bailings? Looks like instead they're just going to be committing on the Bio. And it's not the best trades, but it's good enough. The Bio is going to be going down. I don't think this CC is going to be going up. And with that, we might just be seeing GG.
Yeah, exactly. Spirit just cannot take another base. He has almost no mining whatsoever. He cannot remax. He cannot rebuild. Likewise, the Elazer is also hurting, but I mean, again, he has a fresh mining base. That's what's important for him, and he is denying the right-hand side.
Yeah, the right-hand side being pushed back once again. We still have a pretty decent Broodlord count. Not too many Infestors left over, so maybe there is a little bit of room to play for Spirit, but I'm not sure if Elazer is going to be giving him that opportunity.
I mean, he has a lot of ghosts. He does have a lot of ghosts available. He can take a really good fight, but do we really want to like hinge the game on one big fight without losing too much? It's going to be a tough ask here for Spirits as we get another lane drop into the main base. Once again, pulling Spirit back home.
Yeah, another Ling drop going to be coming in here. And Spirit, Elazer, sorry, I think the name of the game here is just deny this base. As long as he can just keep delaying, keep getting that extra mining from the 2 bases below here, he's just going to be pulling further and further ahead as, ooh, nice, going to be getting that mural there on the Ghost, but doesn't land the massive EMP that he was looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get that connection. A good effort, though, from Elazer. He will lose an Infestor, but he will have 3 more Infestors on the way. 3 more Vipers as well. Again, Elazer, he has a good enough economy to sustain this as he even pushes up into this triangular third.
Yeah, it's going to get a little bit wasteful. I think all of these Hydras can be hunted down, so at the moment, just trying to put the pressure on Spirit, trying to make sure that he's trading units, keeping Spirit under pressure when he knows Spirit's economy is so poor here. I think this is the way to be doing this, and with another couple trades like that, he should be good. But ooh, Spirit, he is not going to be resting on his laurels. He wants to make something happen right here, right now, and he is sending all of the ghosts along to the right-hand side. I think we'll be seeing the Broodlords counter-attacking on the left as well, but there's not much here to defend.
Yeah, the Liberators are going ham. The Broodlords are taking a lot of splash damage, but nah, here we go. We do have the Neural, we do have Fungals, we have Queens to support as well. Bases are going down, though. The fresh mining bases of Elazer are falling.
Yeah, Spirit, he is jumping on this last little opportunity to make something happen in this game. Very intelligent moves coming out here. That is going to allow him to take the base to the right. And wow, this was a fantastic move. If he can lock down this side of the map, I think he can get himself back into this one.
100%, because now suddenly the roles have reversed. Suddenly Elazer doesn't have an economy. He has 0 mining right now. He has 0 mineral patches to his name. He can only mine gas. The right-hand side is so important to him, and now Elazer, he's in some trouble.
Yeah, that was a brilliant move from Spirit. Just seeing that one little window where he can bring all of his ghosts over to the side once he'd mined out the left, and the Broodlords don't have that much potential for damage. And now Elazer's kind of forced to fight for these bases.
Yeah, he has to fight. He has to engage. He has to fight off of creep as well. Liberators are siege tanks as well. We have turrets on the way. Spirit is getting ready for the fight. And here we go. Can Elazer push on through? He is up to 16 Broodlords. He doesn't have the best upgrades. He has +3 air attack, but +1 air defense as the Vipers are coming in, chipping away at these libs.
Yeah, putting down a little bit of damage on the libs. The Corrupt is going to come in and put a bit of damage, but one of the Vipers gets sniped down here. Elazer has to be so careful with his Infestors. I feel like if these Infestors get EMP'd, the game's just over.
Oh my god, a good fungal on some of those ghosts already, but a hot pickup from Spirit. He's going to keep him alive. The tanks and libs go down. Elazer is pushing on through. He's going to be laying siege upon this planetary. And can Spirit stop this?
Yeah, this is such a tense moment for the two players here. Elazer has to stop this base from mining. The base is going to be going down. These Broodlords are so oppressive, but he has to make sure that these Infestors do not get fungal. They are the last thing standing between him and the Ghost sniping down every single Broodlord.
Yeah, we do have some EMPs. They do catch some of the Infestors, but not all of them. And here we go. The Fungals are connecting on the libs, but here come the snipes.
Yeah, these Ghosts are so well spread. So many of the snipes going down on the Broodlords. We're down to only 5, only 3 Broodlords left. And we have to be so careful about the Infestors. But GG is caught. Spirit kills off enough. And what an insane late game from these two players.
GG, well played. We started with 16 Broodlords. 3 survived. The snipes were just too damn good. Elazer running out of steam. And Spirit is 1 game away from 3-0ing Elazer. Oh my god.
GG, masterful late game from Spirit there. Drags Elazer into the deep waters. Elazer doing his best there and actually looking like he did have a winning position for a moment there, but Spirit identifies the moment to go for that ghost rotation and it wins him the game.
Yeah, that, as you said, that one ghost rotation, that was the game-winning move. Elazer was, outside of that, was doing everything right, was denying the bases on the right-hand side, was mining happily, was mining freely, but he wasn't able to keep tabs on the army of Spirit. He completely missed the ghost, just abandoning the left-hand side. And one little slip up like that can be the game for you. We saw the Broodlords were out of position, so he wasn't able to rotate in time. He wasn't able to defend in time. And Spirit, he claws his way back in. Damn.
And this is where Spirit can start to lean into his expertise in late game, start to lean into a bit of the psychological warfare as well, where he can start to goad Elazer into avoiding another late game like that. I think if I was Spirit here, I would just be playing super defensive from now on.
You're an animal, Pop. You're an animal. But we'll see how successful that's going to be, because game number 3 is going to be taking place on Dragon Scales. We started off the series with 2 large maps with Gressvan and Altitude, but now we're going somewhere a little bit smaller, and I don't know how well this turtle style can really, how well it can work here on a map like Dragon Scales.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen late game a little bit on Dragon Scales. One of the good things about potentially going for a more totally style on this map is you do get that forward base. Any kind of forward platform base like this as your fifth can be very easy to defend. But one thing that we have seen, we saw it with Cyril versus Oliveira,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
if we do have the Zerg mining out the side bases, it can be a little bit difficult for the Terran to contest that without leaving themselves open.
100%. What I love as well is a bit of a side tangent. I love that every now and then, Asher, there are like these games that we cast that like really stand out and they stick in our minds, in both of our minds. And I feel like Oliveira versus Cyril on Dragon Scales is one of them.
Yeah, yeah. That was like
Where-
it was just like the perfect
yeah,
Zerg late game. Like I feel
yeah,
like Cyril was showing us something that we don't
yeah.
really get to see so often, which is just a super late game where the Zerg's just in total control from start to finish.
100%, 100%. So we've seen how to do it perfectly. We've seen how Cyril approaches the late game on Dragon Scales. We'll see if Elazer can imitate that or if he goes for something completely different as we are loading on in to game number 3. Elazer, the pressure is on him to bring it back here and now because he is one game away from being knocked down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, we're going to be finding out a lot here about the mental of Elazer, and if we're going to be seeing that triple factory tank style coming out from Spirit again. If Elazer can maybe go into the late game a little bit earlier, we'll know that he has iron mental.
Oh, we'll see if he has read XY's book as sporting in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have the Polish Terran player, the best Terran player in all of Poland, representing Storm Gaming. One game away from advancing on to the grand finals. It is Spirit.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, it is the Zerg player for Team Liquid. He is looking to tie this up and get the most out of this best of 5. It is Elazer.
I am fucking it.
I shouldn't have showed you that.
I love that soundbite. It's my favorite now. It's my favorite.
It's
beautiful.
very good. Yeah.
Oh god, but yeah, let's go. Let's get into this again. A masterclass of late game at TVZ that we saw from Spirit in that last game. But I also feel like a lot of that also came down to the map itself, right? Because it's so large, because of how widespread it is. You know, it did allow for Spirit to outposition Elazer quite well in the late game and take advantage of that. On a map like Dragon Scales, again, it will kind of lead to a very different kind of outcome and scenario. A lot of it coming down to these forward bases, as you were saying, they can become kind of a platform that you can push off of and really kind of really take control of the center of the map and even push out from.
Yeah, something we didn't really consider as well is it could just be that Spirit doesn't want to play a super late game like that, but that is the only option that he considers on altitude. As we do see, he's going to be opening things up a little bit different.
Oh.
It's going to be a CC first pre-racks. Fascinating.
Crazy. I was assuming CC first into like a 2-on-1 or something, but no, we have a third Rax alongside this. Very interesting play here from Spirit indeed.
I think Cure might have pulled this out recently. It's something that I think Dream used to play around with something like this a little bit as well. Dream's version was a little bit more greedy, actually. He skipped gas for quite a while, but we're going to be seeing Spirit going straight into this 3 racks. Going to be skipping the early units as well. So he's kind of realizing that Elazer has been opening the same way every time, that Elazer, like most other Zergs that are familiar with Spirit, would be scared to go for a very early pressure against him. And he's going to be taking full advantage of that.
This is, yeah, it is so greedy. To put emphasis on that, he goes for a CC first into 3 racks, into his add-ons. 0 attacking units right now. Finally, the Marines are coming out. But again, if we did have an earlier pull, if we had some early aggression from Elazer, then we would have seen Spirit maybe in a bit of trouble. But yeah, this is just so greedy.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you do have to be pretty committed to punish this. I think you'd want to be seeing like a Baneblast or like a very early Ravager all-in or something like that if you wanted to punish this. And yeah, I suppose Spirit's pretty safe in assuming Elazer's not going to be doing anything like that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that what you just mentioned isn't really Elazer's MO, right? Like, he himself is known for his more mid-game play or more, like, greedy or economic openers. So, yeah, really smart here from Spirit. Of course, the other downside is that Spirit has zero scouting information. He has no idea what his opponent is up to. But as you mentioned, like, Elazer, he isn't really an aggressive or cheesy player.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm kind of expecting to see Elazer just greeting it on up, trying to get as many drones as he possibly can out. And it's going to be up to Spirit to find a little bit of damage with this 3-racks. Despite going for a greedy opener, he definitely does need to find some damage with this.
Yeah, exactly. And he's going to have a lot of Marines to work with. As you were mentioning, it's going to be on, as he goes straight for his third CC, it's going to be on Elazer to see if he can survive the initial push.
Yeah, third CC before the factory. This is so greedy coming out from him. And he's kind of looking for his aggression to mask the greed, which I think is a really intelligent approach to playing against Elazer.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As do you have that faster third CC on the way. Elazer, he dipped in and he did see the abundance of Marines, which of course would tip him off to something more along the lines of a 2-on-1. But he doesn't quite know exactly what he is up against, as the army is going to be pushing out. As a reminder, there are no medevacs with this, so every stim will count. Every stim will hurt Spirits as he does push out.
Yeah, Elazer going to be firing up a good amount of lings here. That little scouting ling at the front there is going to be scouting out exactly what's coming his way. I liked as well that Elazer, he skipped out on his Bane nest, so he was able to get some extra drones and extra lings. I think that's a good move here. And he's just got to be careful with his micro here, delay this push for as long as he can, but he's really well set up for it.
Yeah, exactly. The Queens are here on the front lines. The lings come out as well, looking for the surround. Spirit, he does go for the stim.
It goes for the stim. One queen going to be going down. A stim has been used, so Spirit has to get out of there. If we have enough lings, we could chase this down, but yeah, Elazer not going to be overdoing it there. Skip the Evos as well, so yeah, Elazer doing all the right things here, being extremely greedy while keeping himself safe, and I think he's going to have a very nice lead coming into the mid-game.
Yeah, exactly. He just focused on just droning up his third base. Now we have a fourth on the way and a fifth, so we're going to be double expanding, getting both Evo chambers, working on our lair and bailing speed. So Elazer is looking really comfortable back at home. Spirit, bearing in mind, he didn't really lose anything. He stimmed, sure, but he only lost a handful of Marines as he's expanding behind this and waiting for his medevacs before he pushes out once again.
Yeah, I think Elazer's going to be very happy with this game state, though. He was able to cut so many corners here. We see he's already getting up to a decent drone count. It's only at 6 minutes already, so this is looking quite nice for him.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be having a powerful timing as well once his upgrades do kick on in. Spirit just establishing himself on his side of the map. Reinforces with his one tank, and he's going to be pushing out once again. I believe the medevacs are rallying out, looking to meet up with the Spy Force.
Yeah, Elazer digging into his bag of tricks as well. We have Overlord Speed on the way. We have Burrow on the way as well. So looks like he did notice that there was a lot of success with those ling drops and borrowing those lings in the main. And he's going to set himself up to go for that play again.
Yeah, and we'll see how much that gets done. Before that happens, though, the push has arrived. The tanks are getting in a pretty good position. Good scan as well, taking down all these active tumors. Bailing Speed is about to kick in.
Yeah, Bailing Speed going to be kicking in. Spirit trying to put on as much pressure as he can. He wants to force out extra Bailing from Elazer. Wants to force him to defend, but Elazer, oh, he has got so much. He's going to be jumping on top of everything. Takes out the tanks, but Spirit not getting the worst trades here. Looks like going to be pretty even trading.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. Because of his marine movement, he actually shaved off a lot of lings, a surprising amount of lings. So, yeah, it was actually a decent fight for Spirit. Did lose his tanks, obviously, which is less than ideal. But he has more tanks that came from behind this, and we're actually getting into Liberator production.
Yeah, I think what might have happened there was that it was a bad fight, but it was 1-1 against 0-0.
Fair enough, Bobby. Fair enough. As Bailey's rolling in decent connections on these Marines as well. Liberators, I believe, have rallied to harass across the map. We'll see if they join the army instead. As Elazer is still maintaining control of the center of the map, is respreading all that creep.
Yeah, the creep is getting pretty dangerous here. I think Elazer is going to be sensing that the momentum is starting to swing in his favor, and Spirit has to be noticing that as well. This is probably the first time in this series where I feel like Elazer's really had good map control and a nice position in this game.
Yeah, especially this early on, right? It feels like Spirit just hasn't been able to slow him down too much at all. Oh my god, bar baiting does detonate, but it wasn't enough to kill the Marines. Jesus.
Yeah, looks like the upgrades are just in favor of the Marines there, so he will be okay. We'll be able to drop back and heal back on up. But yeah, I have to worry for Spirit here. This is the kind of setup that Elazer really loves. His style in general relies so much on momentum, relies on just constant attacks through the mid game, and he's got himself in a really nice position to go for that.
He really has. We can see Spirit trying to give himself some breathing room, but alas, the Marines are forced back. This position actually looking a little bit vulnerable as well.
Yeah.
Spirit keeping his reinforcements back at his natural instead. Elazer, he doesn't go for it. He does back off.
Yeah, Spirit's really trying to get Elazer off his back, stop him from breathing down his neck like that, because he knows that what's coming next is just the constant waves of Lingbei and Hydra. So anything that he can do now to push back the creep and just thin out the Queen numbers is really going to help him later on.
Yeah, exactly. But can he do it? Because the Queens are on the front lines. The creep is not receding. It is staying here, basically touching tips here with Spirit. Tank count is getting back up and running. You know, we have more reinforcements on the way, but Spirit, he just needs a little bit more time. But Elazer is already maxed out.
Yeah, I mean, he is barely able to keep this creep away from his third. That's all he can really do right now. Elazer already taking his base is such a key element of the setup for the Zerg late game that we were talking about before. And yeah, this is looking like a really nice setup for Elazer. And he's going to be able to do what he does best and just crash into Spirit over and over again.
Exactly. I don't know how Spirit can. I mean, you're talking about taking a 5th base, but how can he even take a 4th base right now? There are birdlings all over the place. Spirit just being contained here to these 3 bases, and Elazer, he's just not allowing him any kind of room to breathe.
Yeah, where is Spirit's 4th? He's 8 racks in.
Yeah, there you go. There is no 4th base. We have 8 Raxes, nothing else. Spirit, he's pushing up through the center map. That's a
really
lot of
dangerous.
Oh, God.
This is a really dangerous position for Spirit, and he gets 360 surrounded. He gets absolutely crushed, and he does not have the economy to sustain these kind of losses. GG is called, and Elazer with a dominant game here.
GG, well played. Elazer fighting back in this series, putting a point on the board as he does take down a Spirit here on a Dragon Scales. A really interesting playstyle out of Spirit. Unfortunately, though, like very early on, Elazer was able to come out on top, get so much map control, just have such a presence as well. 8 Raxes typically have a lot of power behind them, but Spirit, he was struggling there.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see that he was on 8 racks because he just didn't have that much. And I think a lot of that came out from the opening where Spirit, despite being a little bit greedy, he actually really did need that damage with the 3 racks just because his medevacs were so delayed. And Elazer's response was just perfect.
Yeah, like Elazer, he didn't lose any bases. He didn't lose any. Did he lose a queen? Maybe like one.
Queen.
Yeah, 1 queen to the 3 racks, and typically we want more than that. We want so much more than that. So yeah, Spirit just having a really rough start from the beginning, was just kind of stuck at home, was never able to assert himself, and by the time he did, we saw what happened. We saw the 360 surround. Oh, GG.
Yeah, and with that, the mental warfare, you know, Spirit might have been building up a little bit of momentum, but he's not able to force late game or anything like that. Elazer just gets the dream game there where he's able to control the momentum from start to finish, and that's really got to do wonders for his confidence.
Oh yeah, but how confident can you be as we now have our map selected? Up next is Neo Humanity, and I feel like we both know where this is going. I think we both know what Spirit either likes to do or knows what he knows what he has to do on a map like this.
Yeah, we saw Spirit really frustrating Raynor on this map during IEM, taking him through an hour-long game, and Raynor visibly upset and frustrated in that game. We're going to be able to see if he can do the same thing to Elazer. It is something that Spirit's very, very good at, and this is a map that's just fantastic for that style too.
Yeah, exactly. This map is wonderful. It's beautiful for turtling up, from hunkering down, for going into the late game and splitting the map in half. We saw that our Zerg player here doesn't really enjoy that and would be willing to do anything to stop that from happening, but can he?
Yeah, can he stop this man from getting to the late game where he excels so much? Here he is in the top left. This is Spirit for Psystorm.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer.
Oh, I kind of wanted to see a bit more of a late game here, but it looks like Spirit maybe not wanting to go there just yet. He is going to be proxy 3 racks soon.
Let's go. We have not 1, not 2, but 3 SCVs being sent out on the map. I do think this is a good way to shake things up. I think both you and I and Elazer as well probably expect a certain playstyle from Spirit on Near Humanity. We'll see how Elazer can respond, can react, can defend against these 3 Raxes.
Yeah, really nice positioning on this as well. It's very unlikely that this is going to be scouted, so I think we are going to be getting away with this for Spirit. You can see he's not even separating the Raxes. He just expects that this is not going to be spotted, and maybe abusing some of the predictability of Elazer here.
Exactly. I mean, the Overlord checks the right-hand side, doesn't check over towards the left, is, of course, camped outside of the natural base, so Elazer is going to be keeping an eye out for those SCVs. But again, it's going to come down to the execution here of Spirit and the reaction of Elazer as this Overlord is being sent out across the map to get a read on what's going on. The Marines are commencing, and momentarily the bunkers will be on the way.
Yeah, we might even be seeing Spirit just bank up a couple of these Marines. But no, he's going to be going... he's going to bank up the Marines. I was going to say, just because there is a bit of a surprise factor, he can hold off on this for a moment.
Yeah, and I love this as well. He's only going to be revealing 2 of those SCVs. He's keeping the 3rd SCV hidden back at that proxy location as well. Bunkers are on the way. Marines are revealed. It looks like our boy's going to be pulled. No, we're going for the gas guys. We're going for the Roach Warren. Elazer is getting ready to give up his natural.
Yep, instant 3 racks response. Elazer reading this very well. I think as an educated guess against a player like Spirit, this is pretty fair. We're going to be seeing Spirit still kind of trying to hide it, but I think the cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see that 3rd SCV being revealed, or so actually that's still the 2nd SCV does delay that bunker, goes for the scout, gets eyes on the Roach Warren.
Yeah, realizes that Elazer's not fighting to hold this, so makes a lot of sense to just double check exactly what's coming his way. And I think Spirit from here can just try to take out this base and then head back home and transition. And yeah, straight away we see double gas being taken.
Yeah, gases are on the way. Good target firing by these Queens. Going to be delaying that bunker a little bit longer here. I do have another SCV joining the fray. Can Elazer hold on to this hatchery? We have 6 roaches on the way already.
Yeah, it looks like Elazer at most just wants to make this expensive for Spirit. If he could deny this hatch from being taken down, that would be absolutely huge. Pretty game-winning, but I don't think he should be expecting that. And yeah, he's going to give it up.
There we go. Hatchery does go down. Spirit has done the damage that he was looking for back at home. Factory is on the way, and he should make sure he does avoid too much damage here as well, as Elazer is looking to reclaim control of his natural.
Yeah, Spirit needs to keep up these bunkers for as long as he can. He needs to make sure that he's delaying these Ravagers from going across the map, because that factory is still a little ways off finishing.
Exactly, and so far the repairs are good. I believe one of the SCVs did go down earlier, so we don't have as much repairs on this bunker as we could have had. No, sorry, the 3rd SCV actually went back home, did survive, and eventually Elazer should be able to work through this bunker.
Yeah, Elazer going to be trying to break out here as fast as he can, and he should be able to take this bunker down. There we go. First bunker goes down. Spirit going to be leaving up that 2nd bunker just for a moment, just to buy himself as much time as he can, while there's extra bunkers coming up at home as well as that CC.
Oh, yeah, there we go. We have that transition. The Raxes are floating back home. The Tech Lab is about to finish up here, and Spirit can start his Cyclone production. Elazer is going for a bit of a counter-attack. He's trying to hunt down whatever he can, but the slow zones are not helping as he's trying to chase down whatever he can.
Yeah, this is going to get pretty dicey. The Cyclone's not quite going to be finished in time. It's going to be a tight hold, and Elazer's going to have to see how much damage he can get from the Ravagers. A little bit of an oversight not to send that Overlord in sooner.
Yeah, the Overlord is delayed. For those wondering, the Overlord is paramount here for high ground vision. The Ling dips in. Bunker has been spotted. The boys are pulled. The Cyclone does come out.
Yeah, Cyclone comes out just in time. Elazer would love to get back in there, drop another few biles. 2 depots in a bunker would be a fantastic win for him, but I'm not sure if he's going to get the opportunity.
I mean, so far, none of the Ravagers have gone down. The bunkers, sorry, the depots are on fire. Another volley from these Ravagers, and they will go down. The Overlord is coming back in position. Has to be careful, has to make sure that it doesn't go down to the Cyclone.
Yep, definitely has to be careful for that. The Cyclone trying to get as much value as it possibly can. Overlord almost in position now, so we're probably going to be seeing a few of these depots being taken out.
Yeah, there we go. 2 depots do go down. Good pickups here from Elazer. Can he get another depot? More boys are being pulled. But a Banshee is a couple of seconds off from coming out. Another depot falls.
Yeah, I mean, we have that Ravage account where we can just be one-shotting these things down, so Spirit as well recognizing that and not over-committing to the defense. He isn't mining gas despite being completely oversaturated. That's definitely a mistake here.
Yeah, a little bit of an oversight from Spirit. Looks like he pulled the gas mining workers to repair in a little bit of a frantic moment, and he's going to be punished for it, but he's reclaiming control of his natural base. He's taking down that Overlord as well, and things are going to be settling down at least a little bit.
Yeah, now how is Elazer transitioning out of this? I think Elazer would definitely have the opportunity to be very greedy if he chooses to. We're not seeing any spores, which is interesting. I guess he didn't quite get the scout on that starport.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned looking at the vision here. Yep, he didn't see the starport. He didn't know that it was researching either. The first Banshee is moving out across the map. There isn't a lair either. I'm concerned that these Banshees could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they definitely could. I mean, this is a very unusual transition out of 3 racks, but looks like at least one of these Banshees will be revealed.
It looks like, there we go. It looks like the Lings actually, they didn't see the Banshee, but they saw the Tech Lab. They saw the Tech Lab on the starport just barely, and that is the sign to throw down these spores. What's crazy is that if that Link Scout was denied, it's possible that that Elazer wouldn't have thrown these down, so thankfully he gets that confirmation.
Yeah, that's right. Behind this, Spirit is going to be getting that third on location. I think that's a really strong move here. Just recognizing that it's not very likely that Elazer is just going to all in off of a lead. And behind this, both players going to be going up into a pretty standard game. So despite a crazy start, we might still be seeing that late game.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. We may still end up in the same place. All roads, they do lead to Rome. They lead to the late game, whether you like it or not. As the Banshees are looking to push on out, Elazer is in the midst of expanding and taking a 4th base, but that may be cancelled.
Yeah, it could be, as we just see the Banshees moving out to put some pressure on.
Yeah, it looks like, oh, up! One queen will go down. The 4th base is under threat. There is no metal detection. There's no lair. There's no overseer. Only spores to deal with these Banshees. And it looks like, yeah, we should be getting a cancel on this base.
Yeah, base does get cancelled. It looks like he should be able to at least save the drone for a moment. Cloak's going to be running out on that first Banshee, so might as well decloak both of them. And that 4th will come back up. So all in all, we have a pretty interesting game. I would say this is looking very even, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Spirit, he's got his 3rd base up and running. He's working on his wall. The Banshees are giving him a lot of breathing room as well. Elazer, he's actually cutting workers a little bit early on here. He's making a massive wave of Lings right now. So we'll see how active he wants to be with this.
Yeah, Overlord speed again. I wanted to mention it before, but I think that build that he went for in the first game, the 1-1 Roach all in with the extra queen drop, is a lot more effective on this map, and looks like he might be going for a bit of a variant on that. This is kind of looking like it's gearing up for a Lingbane Ravager queen drop all in.
I mean, there's a lot of Lings on the way. They're already here as well. We get us around. We force a cancel on the 4th base. The Ravagers take down some of these depots as well. We do see Spirit. He's zoned away from his own 3rd.
Never really thought about it before, but 7 Ravagers is such a potent hit squad.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of firepower here, and Spirit is denied his 3rd base. Is down to 2 bases mining for at least a little bit. Elazer, he backs off. He's going to be giving Spirit a little bit of breathing room, but little does Spirit know that Elazer, he hasn't been droning. He's making more Lings and squeezing out a couple of drones at the same time, to be fair.
You can't trust these Zergs. You leave them alone, and this is what they get up to. Just absolute nonsense. They're crazy.
They're crazy, Bobby. They're crazy. Okay, here we go. We are now droning. We're saturating our bases, but Elazer, he did cut workers really early on, so he doesn't have the best economy right now, as he is double expanding, working on his infestation rate, working on his soon-to-be hive.
Yeah. Burrows on the way as well, so Elazer looking to get a bit fancy. We haven't really seen any massive burrowed Bane hits, but on such a small map with such few corridors of attack, I think it could be pretty devastating here.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. So we'll see if that is going to be the case. Do you see Elazer just focusing on just establishing his own half of the map? 2-2 on the way. We're joining up to 75 workers. We're taking the center base as well, so things are settling on down for both players. I do think that Elazer still has a lot of potential, though, of maybe denying that third once again.
Yeah, I think so too, as we do see Hive is going to be on the way, 2-2 on the way for both players. Spirit looking to put a bit of pressure on the other side of the map, recognizes that there is a lack of anti-air.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. Does almost lose a medevac. He gets a decent trade here, but Elazer immediately replacing those spores with 2 of them at his natural base. Says that Hive on the way as well, and yeah, Elazer is looking to tech on up. Is soon to build up quite a large Lingbane army here as well, but for the most part is looking further ahead.
Yeah, I wonder what he's going to be doing with this Hive. I think it might just be for Adrenal for now. But considering the setup of Spirit, I also think that a Broodlord timing could be really strong.
Yeah, I wonder if Elazer is willing to tech up in that direction and willing to tech up that greedily as well, as we don't have a Spire yet. The Hive is about to finish up here. For now, Adrenal makes sense. Elazer also willing to stay on a low drone count. That's really been the big thing that I've been like, that's been like nibbling away at my mind, is that Elazer, he's still at only 72 workers, maxing out or focusing on maxing out instead.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. I mean, 72 workers, that's kind of like how he set up against Protoss here to just go for 2 massive Bane run-bys on both sides, and he is looking to envelop the Terran from both sides once again.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if Spirit can keep up. We have some Bard Banes! Oh god. Oh no!
What? Oh, big connection there. Elazer gets that Burrow connection that he is looking for, and he catches the tanks on siege. He's just going to go for it now, and this is going to be very effective. There's nowhere to run for Spirit.
Yeah, the tank's caught on siege. The Lingbane rolling on in as well, encapsulating the entire army. Lings, they come in from behind. They come in from the front. We get a full surround, and Spirit loses his army.
Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. The third has to be given up. The fourth as well, and that is too much. Elazer takes game 4.
GG, well played. Our prayers have been answered, Papi. We're going to the ace match.
Yeah, there we go. Elazer fights back, and just as we had 2 kind of classic Spirit games in the first 2 games, with Spirit first baiting Elazer into the all-in the first game and then going super late game in the second game, I feel like these last 2 games were like quintessential Elazer games, where he was just having everything his way, building up the momentum, and then just crushing his opponent with an attack.
Yeah, definitely. And you could also argue that a part of that was also off of the back of the 3 racks as well, right? Like Elazer was able to, contain his opponents, was able to get quite a bit of momentum there in that game and catch Spirit a bit off guard with his pants down when it comes to that follow-up Ling push. So yeah, a lot more aggressive than I think, or at least that I'm used to seeing from Elazer.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we normally see 3 racks on bigger maps, on maps like Ancient Cistern. On the last pool, we saw it a lot on Tropical Sacrifice, is just because you can see with a very crisp Roach response like that, the Roaches get across the map so quickly, and that's something that can be very difficult to deal with. I also think that the base layout of the main does make getting contained really annoying. So maybe not the best build choice by Spirit on that map.
Yeah, like I understand the surprise factor behind it, but outside of that, there was a lot working against him in the end. So yeah, really well done of Elazer to come back, to bounce back, and now we have game 5. It's going to be taking place on Babylon.
Yeah, that's right. We are going the distance. Who is going to be able to mold this game in the direction that they want? Here in the top left-hand corner, he's a master of the late game. It is Psystorm's Spirit.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid, fighting back, bouncing back in this series, forcing the ace match. It is Elazer.
Has been incredibly high quality StarCraft between these 2 already. This could be the finals of, any big tournament, honestly, the way that these 2 are playing. And we're going to be seeing Spirit once again going into the well of that CC first. It's had some mixed results for him. on Dragon Scales didn't work out too well with that kind of weird 3 racks, but I wouldn't mind seeing him return to the CC first 3cc.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you bring it up. Even though it's a CC first opener here from Spirit, the follow-up has been very varied. We have seen different kind of variations of it out of Spirit, whether it's more economic, whether it's a little bit more aggressive with those additional Raxes. So we'll see what Spirit goes for this time. We are on now Babylon. The larger maps, they're not going to get involved. I guess that gives us confirmation that Ancient Cistern was vetoed alongside Royal Blood, actually. Royal Blood from Elazer.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Royal Blood, probably the only map that I feel super comfortable against Zerg as Darren. I was mentioning before, a pretty good map for TVP as well, so I think that's a pretty logical veto there for a laser. As yeah, we're going to be seeing, it's going to be something a bit more normal coming out from Spirit, not skipping that second gas, not throwing down any extra Raxes. This is just your bread and butter CC first, and I think we're going to be seeing a return to the 3cc.
Yeah, I expect to see that as well. From the side of Elazer, likewise, only a hatch gas pool. Again, he hasn't really been varying things up. I don't think we've seen a single, pool first or a fast gas or anything like that. Elazer, when it comes to the early game, has been pretty samey, has been pretty standard.
Yeah, it looks like Elazer's been pretty confident to just be a bit more responsive. And I mean, where he excels is that mid game, and it just makes sense for him to play to his strengths.
Yeah, definitely. So, again, nothing too wild out of Elazer early on. I mean, sure, we saw some fast roaches from him in the last game, but it was a reaction, a response to the 3 racks from Spirit, as the first Reaper is coming across the map, looking to get a scout off, looking to try to get a read on what he is up against as he confirms the 3rd base.
Yep, sees the 3rd base. That's everything he needs to see. He'll just head back home as that Reaper's the only unit that he's going to have for a while here. 3rd CC goes down, and yeah, it is, after all, going to be that CC first into 3cc Banshee. This is just the classic Spirit build, something that he has been working at for a long time, and something that's a bit of a signature of his. I don't really see many other Terrans play this, or any other Terrans really.
Yeah, it's always really cool to see these stylistic players here, especially at this level of play. That's why we love players like Spirits, like Bjorn, like I would even say Future, even Gumiho as well. They just have their own tendencies behind them. Meanwhile, Elazer going to be making a massive flood of lings.
Okay, interesting. This is actually a really good timing to link flood against CC first, because there's only going to be the 2, maybe 4 Hellions out, especially if Spirit is getting a bit adventurous sending those Hellions out. I think Elazer will find a really nice window to try to catch the next 2 Hellions.
Yeah, and here we go. The first 2 Hellions do move out on the map. We do see Elazer trying to avoid the Reaper and Hellion of his opponent, but it looks like he's being dragged over towards the left-hand side. It is going to be missing the rest of the lings.
Yeah, this is some really neat Ling movement from Elazer. You can see at this level of play, the attention to detail that these players have with their early game units is just insane.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll see if Elazer can pull this off. It looks like all 4 of these Hellions are going to join forces here, but Elazer is getting ready to potentially even set up a surround on these Hellions.
Yeah, this is a dangerous moment for Spirit. He could get surrounded. He could get these Hellions trapped. Or Elazer is just sharking. He is prowling, and these Hellions are his prey. It's a bit of a scary situation for Spirit. I'm not sure if he's quite aware how much danger he's in.
Oh, God. But you know what? He's going to be able to reinforce at least a little bit. And here we go. Elazer is going for that counterattack. He's going to try to catch a couple of units. A couple of Marines are going to get picked off. We do have 2 Hellions back at home to defend.
Yeah, some very precise Ling movement coming out from Elazer. Snipes the SCV, snipes out a couple of those Marines, and will be bringing all the Hellions back home. So he is now free to spread creep to his heart's desire.
Yeah, exactly. As so far, the Hellions haven't really been able to apply too much pressure at all because of the Ling movement of Elazer. They have been stuck in the center of the map or stuck back at home, so the creep is spreading. But now Spirit is going to be active on the map. I believe Cloak. Yep, Cloak is done. Banshees are joining forces. They are moving out.
Yeah, looks like that first Banshee already getting a little bit adventurous, putting on a little bit of damage, taking some damage from the Queen as well. But from here, Spirit is going to have a slightly stronger first push than usual. That is the advantage of going CC first into 3cc like this, and that's something that Elazer is going to have to be prepared for.
Yeah, he really will. Meanwhile, this time Elazer, he doesn't want to force a cancel on this 4th base. He does bring his ball over. It looks like the Spore is going to finish up just in time. Can he hold on? Up!
Oh, I think we should be able to snipe this, and yeah, the cancel is forced here. So a lot of resources being dunked into trying to defend this, and it's not quite going to work out for Elazer. Meanwhile, Spirit just gearing up for his first push behind this.
Yeah, exactly. The Hellions, they survived the early game, bear that in mind, so they're going to be involved here in that first push. We have our first tank, second tank on the way. Before that happens, Lings do go for another counterattack, but good reaction out of Spirit.
Yeah, Spirit's going to be cleaning up these Lings. Pretty nice stuff. Elazer was still able to drone up to a pretty healthy drone count of 70 despite making all those Lings in the early game, and that's because he delayed his Evo chambers and he delayed his Bane nest as well. We're still going to be seeing 1-1 and Bane speed all starting up at a reasonably good time here, but definitely not going to have Bane speed for the first push.
Yeah, Baneling speed is going to be delayed here, and we can see the Spirit for the time being is setting up for that first push. He's cleaning up as much creep as he can, but Elazer, he's not too far behind, re-spreading all of that creep here with these Queens. The Marines, though, they are moving out on the map. Lings potentially getting ready for a counterattack.
Yeah, I love the way that Elazer's been so predatory with these Lings throughout this game. They've just been sharking for damage anywhere they can find them, but fantastic move from Spirit. Sends out these Hellions just to clear out that run bypass before he gets aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. The Lings, they get annihilated, and now Spirit can focus on his push. Actually going to be rotating over towards the left-hand side of the map. He's not pushing through the center. Interesting choice. Is going to be able to lay siege upon this fourth.
Yeah, he should be able to push in, and he does want to get some good damage with this push. Can be one of the scariest things about this map is the creep gets out of control very quickly, and once this kind of plateau through the middle is creeped, it's very hard to uncreep it.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if he can do so. Before that happens, though, we have a lot of Banelings about to be morphed in. Baneling speed is finishing up just in time for this attack, and we're setting up a surround.
Yeah, Spirit falling into the jaws of the beast here. Massive 360 surround going to be dropped in, but the Hellbats and tanks positioning is wonderful. So Spirit actually going to be taking a very good trade here.
Oh my god, the tank survives, especially on the high ground. GG gets caught. Spirit taking an amazing fight despite the surround, and he takes game 5, winning the series.
Yeah, that tank and Hellbat positioning was just fantastic there. Elazer couldn't let an opportunity like that pass him by, but it's just not good enough. Spirit takes the series.
Wow, GG, well played. Congratulations to Spirit. Just, yeah, having such a powerful push there behind him, despite the surround, despite Baneling speed kicking in. The positioning was just impeccable, and Spirit, he's going to be advancing on to the grand finals.
GG, so Spirit now awaits whoever will be able to fight their way back up. And Elazer, he's not out, of course. He's going to be dropping down, I believe, to the lower bracket final. And there he'll be awaiting a Protoss.
Oh, he will. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket. It has been ongoing. I mean, we had a really long series, really long best of 5, and I'm sure the bracket is still being updated as we had a couple of eliminations already. Trifax, 2-0'd by Rail, Snugstar, 2-1 by Geralt. Really cool to see he was able to take a game at least. But yes, we just have nothing but PvPs going on there. Rail eliminates Papi 2-1. I would have loved to have seen more of my Papi, but likewise also meets his end.
Yeah, Rail having a great tournament here, taking out Trifax and Papi. That's some big names there for someone in Rail who I don't believe has actually been playing StarCraft that much. I think he was focusing a bit more on Age of Empires, if I'm not wrong. I might be mixing him up with someone else. I'm not sure, but I know on the other end of that bracket as well, a little bit of misfortune. We have Christiana and Gerald matched up pretty early there. I would have either of those as my favorites to possibly upset Elazer. So that's a pretty high caliber match going on there.
It really is. It really is. And it's such a shame that they have to knock each other out. But I mean, regardless, they would have faced off in the lower bracket semifinals as well. So one way or another, they did have to meet their own ends. And it looks like they may have just finished up this series as well. I believe the admins are still just kind of gathering information on what's been going on. Regardless, Elazer has a little bit of time to prepare here for his next Protoss opponent. And we just got an update. We're going to be going on an extended break before our next series. So we're going to have some time to ourselves. Likewise, Asher, thank you so much for jumping on, Pappy. Thank you so much for jumping on and for casting today. It's been it's been years since we casted, Pappy. It's been years, so it's been some good fun. Some good fun.
Yeah, we had a absolute banger of a best of 5 there between Elazer and Spirit. So I kind of feel like I saw the finals already. I'm just going to go to sleep and pretend that's the end of the event. But for everyone else staying up, there's still some really fantastic StarCraft on the horizon. And yeah, it'll be really exciting to see if Elazer and Spirit meet up again in the grand finals, or if it's instead going to be maybe a Protoss meeting up to fight Spirit.
It's possible. It is possible. So, again, thank you so much, Asher, for joining us. For those wondering, it is 1 a.m. 1 a.m. here in Australia, so it's getting very late. And, you know, we don't want to ruin our, or some of us don't want to ruin our sleep schedules too much.
Some of us have sleep schedules.
Who I think it's Kuro. Obviously, Asher,
True.
he's about to leave us. He's going to play some StarCraft. He's going to ladder.
Yeah, perfect time to start a ladder session. Yeah.
Shaking my head. But again, we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have another matchup for us. I'm uncertain as to what it's going to be. We're going to get some updates, and once we get them, we'll let you know in the chat. We'll let you know.
All right. So there you go. Thanks for having me on that. Always fun to cast with you, and enjoy the rest of the bracket.
Hasta luego. Get some rest.